the day he stepped into baseball immortality and became the Iron Man. So tonight, Cal, we salute you as the O's and Rays get together, middle game of 3, up next on Massive. It's the Orioles on Masson on a hot and sticky night as the Orioles celebrate Cal Ripken Jr. and 21-31. It's the Orioles and Tampa Bay Rays tonight. It is the middle game of this 3-game series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. Every day in Major League Baseball presents a new challenge. For the Orioles tonight, the initial challenge is snap their 5-game losing streak, which hopefully then translates into a winning streak. The Orioles also turn the page on the calendar today. It is September, and they can look back at the month of August and say, wow, what happened? It was a long month for the O's as they batted .247 on the month, which helped result in a record of 11-18. They did hit 40 home runs, but 4.1 runs per game was only 12th in the league, and the team ERA was on the rise, so it was a difficult month, which has put their playoff chances in peril. And Mike Bordick losing 10 of the last 11 games certainly didn't help, but the Orioles believe there's time left, and if they have a strong September, who knows what happens later on.
Well, you're exactly right, and I think Buck Showalter really knows how to handle the month of September. He gets the most out of all of his players. He's had a successful run here the past few seasons in the month of September, so I think there is some optimism. And I think if you look back on the month of August, those numbers look pretty dismal, but there were some good parts about the month as well. They started off the first 17 games, they were 10-7. They started to play some really good baseball. Offensively, they were clicking. They were scoring over 5 runs per game. And then they ran into this stretch where we haven't seen this Orioles offense scuffle as bad as they have. Just 1 win and 11 losses. They're scoring 2.75 runs per ball game. So it's very uncharacteristic. They haven't been in this type of a dip. But you look forward to the month of September. Just that turning the page over, I think, is something that baseball players like. You know, forget about the past. Let's move on. They're focusing on the postseason. Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for sure. They got to start winning. They got to start producing more runs, and they've done it before.
And there's been a lot of talk about the Orioles and the mindset that they bring to the game. Are they lacking confidence, or is it purely frustration? Maybe it's a combination of the two, but a win can help all that.
Oh, it certainly can. Somebody has to step up. Somebody's got to get the big hit. Well, yesterday's ball game, they had plenty of opportunities. Chris Archer shut them down with the bases loaded a couple times. So the opportunities are there. It's going to take one swing of the bat, maybe one big strikeout by a pitcher to turn things around.
So tonight, the O's look to snap the 5-game losing streak. It's the middle game of 3. We're coming back to Camden Yards. Lineups and first pitch are next. brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by visitannapolis.org. Find the Chesapeake experience at visitannapolis.org. Well, it's a warm night on a September the 1st. Here's our BGE home game time temperature, 87 degrees. It got up to 96 downtown this afternoon. BGE Home is Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Well, there's Cal Ripken Jr.'s number 8 out in the Monument area, Camden Yards. And here's the Rays lineup. Sizemore, Nava, and Longoria with John Jaso DHing. Logan Forsythe, who had a 3-hit game last night, will bat 5th. He came up a home run shy of the cycle. Cabrera, Loney, Geyer, and Aaron Sebia doing the catching and batting 9th.
Yeah, let's take a look at Chris Tillman's pitch arsenal this season. The fastball 66% of the time. He can ride the 4-seamer at the top of the zone. But since the All-Star break, he's mixed in the 2-seam fastball. So we're getting a few more ground balls here lately. Breaking ball has the big over-the-top curve 21% of the time in the change. The straight change 13%. Chris Tillman's been on. He's had command of all those pitches and pitched much better the second half of this season. That 4.58 earned run average in search of that 10th win. 92 punch-outs, 48 walks on the year for Tillman. Opponents hitting .261 overall. 55% of his outs in the air. And he has given up 15 long balls this year. Chris Tillman here at home recently, his last 5 home starts, 3 wins with a 1.78 earned run average. So feeling comfortable here at Camden Yards. Some of the adjustments he's made, especially after toiling through the first half of the season with his delivery, he's finally found some consistency. He's moved to the center of the rubber. He's in much more control of his windup and a finish, especially in his windup. You're not going to see him be falling off to the first base side as violently as he has been in the past.
And he will get ahead of Grady Sizemore. We are underway at Camden Yards. Sizemore, the veteran, began the year with the Phillies and now with Tampa Bay, trying to resurrect his career that has been injury plagued. And strike 2. So 2 which appear to be high strikes, and if Tillman's going to get that, it's going to be a good night.
Well, you got that right, because his fastball is exceptional at the top of the zone, and the umpire starts helping him out and calling the top. He can expand a little bit higher, get more chases.
Shift is now on against Sizemore, and Tillman deals, fouled off.
Yeah, Sizemore at one time all-star caliber player, injuries, major setbacks, and just could not keep himself on the field. It was a great comeback story for him to kind of revive, but hasn't been able to settle in. Had an opportunity with the Red Sox, of course, the Phillies this year, and now Tampa Bay giving him an opportunity.
Tillman making his 25th start of the year, coming off a loss last Thursday in Kansas City. He allowed 4 runs in 6 innings and did allow a home run. And the 0-2 is slapped foul again. So after back-to-back called strikes, 3 consecutive foul balls off the bat of Grady Sizemore.
What's new? Chris Tillman giving up the foul balls. Come up with that put-away pitch. He's had exceptional command of his breaking ball here recently. Good time to bounce one.
Breaking ball bends around the plate.
Most of the Orioles starters, it's been a grind, a struggle to find that consistent rhythm. Wei-Yin Chen, probably the most consistent Orioles starter, but Tillman's showing why he's had some success over the past few seasons, as he's finally been able to bounce back and really pitch like the Chris Tillman that we've seen in recent years here in the second half of the season. Much more confident in his delivery, much more command of all of his offerings.
This is now beginning to be a frustrating at-bat for Chris Tillman, as he got ahead and he can't put him away. 5 foul balls already in this at-bat, and Sizemore is about to see a 9th pitch.
Aggressive up and away.
And he got him. Off-speed pitch, and Sizemore couldn't reach it.
Now that is a nasty pitch. Not his over-the-top curve, more of a slider. 85 miles an hour, throwing it hard. Great bite underneath the hands of Sizemore. That's a big finishing pitch there for Tillman after a grinded out at bat.
So Tillman gets the K and takes a little breather. Chris trying to win his 10th game on the year as Daniel Navas stands in. Miguel Gonzalez, Chris Tillman, and Ubaldo Jimenez all have 9 wins. And all have struggled to get the 10th win. Miguel has gone 7 starts trying to get the 10th win without picking it up. Ubaldo has gone 4. And Chris has gone 2. So this is his 3rd attempt at his 10th win, which would make him the team leader in wins with those 10.
Well, Chris has certainly pitched well enough here recently to capture that 10th win. 6 2/3 loss to Minnesota, where he gave up 3 runs, and you mentioned his last start. That's
going to fall in for a base hit in left field as Pierce was deep. So Navas on with a 1-out single.
I'm going to take a look at the Orioles defense. Highlighted Manny Machado at shortstop last night. The beautiful running throw. The strongest arms you're going to see on an infield. And Manny can do it off balance. Take a look at the rest of the Orioles defense. Pierce, Jones, and Alvarez in the outfield. Janisch getting the start at short. Scope at second. Machado and Davis on the corners. And Matt Wieters behind the plate.
And Evan Longoria comes up. Tillman to the stretch for a first time. Longoria hit a long home run last night. He'll take ball 1. Now has 15 home runs.
And Chen, starter in last night's ball game, got off to a fabulous start. Great command, and then the Rays just started picking him apart.
Scope and Alvarez. Alvarez calls off Jonathan. He makes the catch. And 2 men down for Dariel Alvarez, making his first appearance at Camden Yards. So Tillman gets the 2nd out. The Rays are 65 and 66. They are trying to get back to 500 tonight, while the Orioles now are 5 below 500 at 63 and 68. There's Kevin Cash, their 37-year-old manager, in his first season with the Rays.
Now the Orioles, their goals have kind of changed. Now they're in need of a win. That's their first and most important goal. Win a ball game, and then start thinking about getting back to 500 and get to 500, see where you are. Hopefully they can get there as soon as possible.
John Jaso is DHing to get another left-handed bat in there, and he swings through it. The veteran Jaso at 283, playing in his 46th game. And the Orioles have the shift on against Jaso with the shortstop Janisch on the second base side, and Manny's over at shortstop. So there it is again, just as Bobby Dickerson said when Manny started at shortstop last night. He said, "What's the big deal? He's there half the game anyway."
Right.
There he is again in the first inning.
Except here, Manny's responsible for the whole left side of the infield. He certainly has the range to cover that.
When you win the Platinum Glove, you can handle it.
You know that. I mean, he has as good a range as anybody in the game right now.
1-2 on Jaso, and a swing and a miss. He got him. So a strong inning for Chris Tillman, a 1-out single, 1 left. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Here come the O's. Ceremonial first pitch as the Orioles honor the 20th anniversary of 2131. Here's the O starting lineup brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Machado, Pearson, Jones with Davis in the cleanup spot. Wieters will catch. Jonathan Scope at second base, batting 6, coming off a terrific month of August. 321, 3 home runs and 15 RBIs. Joseph DHs, then Alvarez and Yash.
Now let's take a look at Drew Smyly's pitch arsenal this season. This will be his 4th start since coming off the 60-day DL with a torn labrum in his throwing shoulder. But the fastball at 61% of the time, 88 to 93 with the heater. Got a curveball and a slider and the straight change are his offerings. 3.82 earned run average, only 30 2/3 innings of work, but 32 punch-outs and only 7 walks on the year. Opponents hitting .254 off Smyly.
And Matty looks over a pitch low, 1-0. Manny at .290. He is still tied for 7th in the American League in base hits with 150, even though he has gone just 10 for his last 51, which is a 196 clip. Good changeup. 1-2 on Machado.
Smyly came over as a big part of that David Price trade, the package there, and Smyly only 26 years old, so young left-handed arm, pretty unique approach.
That's looped to left. Sizemore in on it, and it hangs up long enough, and Grady's there for the out and 1 away.
Take a look at the Rays defense. Sizemore, Geyer, and Nava in the Rays outfield. Cabrera and Forsythe up the middle. Longoria and Loney on the corners, and JP Arancibia doing the catching behind the plate. Of course, Arancibia in spring training with the Orioles, and when the Orioles let him go, the Rays pounced on it. And they're getting another opportunity in the major leagues.
Here's Steve Pearce, who gets the start in left field tonight. Steve now with 9 home runs on the year. Looks over a breaking ball low. Here's 5 for 22 on the just concluded road trip. He did not play last night. And gets ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Smyly out of Little Rock, Arkansas, and he pitched in college in his home state at the University of Arkansas.
Yeah, 2nd round pick of the Tigers back in 2010. And you know, he isn't going to blow you away with his stuff, but he has some deception. Tough to pick up. He kind of leans back and hides the ball, and then somehow gets his arm back on top for an overhand slot.
Well, very patient at bat for Steve Pearce, and he works a 4-pitch walk. So the Orioles get a 1-out base runner. And here comes Adam Jones. Adam is beginning to heat up. He has a modest 4-game hitting streak, 1 hit in each of the last 4 games. And he did pick up an RBI last night, his 67th. He is a very important hitter in this lineup.
Well, that was a pretty big RBI that Adam picked up last night. The Orioles were riding a 19 consecutive inning scoreless drought before that RBI single from Adam Jones.
See, Adam, 15 of his home runs, 15 of the 24 have been hit here at Camden Yards. With the batting average about the same, and the RBIs distributed almost evenly. High fly ball to center field. Geyer was deep anyway, so he has to come in on it. And over in left center, he makes the catch for the 2nd out. So Jones retired and 2 away, and Pearce hustling back to first.
Just enough fade on that changeup from Smyly to get it on the end of the bat. Adam Jones, a nice aggressive cut, but that late movement in the zone keeps it off the barrel.
A 2 down. Here's Chris Davis. Chris 3rd in the league with those 35 home runs, and he is 2nd with the 92 RBIs. Another bat the Orioles need to get hot. The key hitters in this lineup all went cold at the same time, and that's in large part how you lose 10 out of 11. When your run producers are not producing runs.
Yeah, when the Orioles went on that nice little run the end of July when they won 6 out of 7, and then You know, that hard start the first couple weeks in the month of August. Chris Davis was a monster. He had a 23-game stretch where he had 15 home runs and 35 RBIs. So it was one of those situations where he just said, come on, boys, jump on. And really everybody relaxed in the lineup, and they started to produce. We talked about their runs were up over 5 per game. They need Chris to get back on track.
Well, Chris certainly has the numbers overall on the year. Here are 35 home runs and 90 RBIs in Orioles history before September the 1st, and Chris has done it 2 of the last 3 years.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff here. I mean, Chris Davis has been the best power hitter in the game for the past few seasons, and great consistency here. Last year probably would have got there as well, but oblique injury kind of set him back and dealt with that. That's why the number's down in last year's campaign.
Well, Smiley gets him on a changeup. O's leave 1. We head to the 2nd. No score.
On and off the field. Baseball was and is about teamwork. Baseball was and is about community. Baseball in the end was and is about family. One big family, the Orioles family.
Well, the Orioles honoring Cal Ripken Jr. 20th anniversary of 21-31. His career numbers: 19 times an All-Star, twice won the MVP. Of course, he is in Cooperstown. He was elected in his first year of eligibility 5 years after retiring. The actual date is September 6th, but the Orioles will be on the road, so the Birds wanted to honor him as close to it as possible, so they are honoring him here tonight. Cal will join us next inning.
Yeah.
Your former teammate.
Pretty exciting.
1-1 on Logan Forsythe. Cabrera and Loney will follow. Forsythe last night picked up his 7th 3-hit game of the year.
Well, Forsythe has certainly been this team's MVP all year long. Solid defense at second base. Offensively, been very productive and consistent.
Forsythe has found a home here with Tampa Bay. They love him. 28 years old. He's also from the University of Arkansas. So a couple of
hotbed
Razorbacks on this team tonight. And a foul back. Chris Tillman 1-2 on the year against Tampa Bay. This is his 5th start. ZRA, though, very credible. 3.20 against the Rays. Right past Tillman. He slowed it down with the glove, and that's going to cost him. Had he let that go by, Scope was right behind the bag in the shift, and by getting his glove on it, it slowed it down, and there's a base hit for Logan Forsythe.
Yeah, Tillman, a good changeup here. And Forsythe hits him a changeup right back up the middle. And Tillman was able to get a little piece of the glove on it. Unfortunately, though, slowing it down. His infield can't make a play behind him. Pretty nice effort there, though, by Tillman.
Yeah, he almost caught it. Of course, that's just an instinct. He knows that Scope is there because he knows what players they shift on. But when the ball's coming back at you, it's just an instinct to try to catch it. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera, the shortstop. He has hit just 143 against the Orioles on the year, but he did hit a big 2-run home run last night. He tries to bunt for a base hit against the shift, and it goes foul. Manny was wide of the bag and deep.
Well, Cabrera's confidence started to grow through the month of August. Hit 356, so it really doesn't matter who you're playing against. If you're feeling good when you step in the box, good things are going to happen. And there you go. Take out his numbers in the month. 356, 4 homers, 15 RBI.
Yeah, he had 11 multi-hit games in the month of August. That is production. Runner at first, no one down. And a foul off the mask of Wieters back to the screen. Tillman facing the switch hitter Cabrera, batting from the left side. Most of the power against Tillman has come from right-handed batters. 13 of the 15 home runs he's allowed have been hit by righties. The only 2 left-handed hitters to take him deep, Ezequiel Carrera, 3-run home run, Blue Jays outfielder, and Pompey, Dalton Pompey, who was then the Blue Jays outfielder, a 2-run shot.
It figures it was the Blue Jays.
Yeah, right.
They've given him a hard time all year long. Yeah, if you took away his starts against the Blue Jays,
he'd have
very respectable numbers.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of pitchers probably feel that way.
Definitely, yeah. Blue Jays can lighten it up.
Blue Jays have a 1.5 game lead on the Yankees in the division. They both lost last night, so neither could take advantage of the other. Just did foul it off. That was a defensive swing.
Really good changeup. Chris Tillman changed the grip using the 4-seam circle change grip to make it look just like his 4-seam fastball. He used to throw it with 2 seams to get a little fade action in the zone, but getting more swings. I mean, good arm sell. Comes out of his hand like a true 4-seamer, but about 10 miles an hour slower. Perfect velocity differential.
And a roller to first. That is a foul ball. Well, let's get a look at our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers. And Mike alluded to Tillman turning a season around, and I think these numbers show that.
Yeah, he's starting to find his form. The pre-All-Star break, 6 and 7 with a 5.4 earned run average on that 291 opponent batting average. With the post, 3 and 2 with a 296 and just a 194 opponent batting average in 7 starts. So yeah, he's settled in. He's feeling more confident in his delivery. I think efficient. You know, he's not wasting a lot of extra movement. He's a big guy, 6'6". If you get extra movement in there, you're going to fatigue and not going to be as consistent with that release point.
Well, that one got away, and it hits Asdrubal Cabrera. The last thing Tillman wanted to do on an 0-2 pitch. So the Rays get their first 2 on in the second.
Matt Wieters wanting the inside fastball. Now it is the 2-seam fastball. He was hoping to pull that one back in on the inner third, but it never came back at all and caught Cabrera on the backside there. Unfortunate hit by pitch for Tillman and the Orioles.
So that gives James Loney a chance. And a foul back out of play. Loney 7 for his last 19. Not very good numbers against Chris Tillman.
Yeah, just a 133. He's had a long ball. 4 RBIs and a punch out. Put the ball in play. Be careful. Loney can spray the ball all over the field, so quality pitches, work the perimeter.
Ooh, close pitch. Goes Loney's way. Count evens 1-1. The Rays are also trying to get even against the Orioles on the year. The season series, the O's lead at 7-6. Line to left field, right at Pierce. And the runners will not be able to advance. One away.
Good job by Pierce there. Hard line drive right at him. So you freeze, you pick up the baseball, and then make your adjustment. Steve Pierce playing it perfectly. Thumbs up over to Adam Jones.
So now double play ball can get him out of it. Here's Brandon Guyer, the center fielder. Guyer 1 out of 5 last night. He is a valuable player for Tampa Bay, the way he can move around. .29 years old. He's out of Herndon, Virginia, so not too far from here. There's a strike. Played in college at the University of Virginia. He came to the Rays in the same trade that got Tampa Bay Chris Archer, who was the winning pitcher in last night's game. That was the deal in which the veteran Matt Garza was dealt to the Cubs. And again, that's tremendous scouting by the scouts who follow minor league systems. Archer was an A-ball when he was originally traded to the Cubs, and then was in Double-A when he got traded to Tampa Bay.
Well, there are a few big leaguers in that trade. With Archer, Guyer, Sam Fold was in there. Robinson Chirinos.
And he struck him out. Can't catch the high fastball.
And that is Chris Tillman's money pitch, right in that high heater at the top of the zone. Looks so good coming in there, but extra life. Now Chris Tillman, talk about rotation on a fastball and how it holds true. Well, Tillman does that about as well as anybody. He can ride that heater at the top of the zone, and hitters think it's going to come down a little bit, but they can never get to it. Great pitch for easy fly ball outs, and a big time strikeout pitch as well.
JP Arancibia, the number 9 batter, will take strike 1.
The problem with that high fastball is you have to make sure you're executing down in the zone effectively as well. You can't just work there all the time. You know, that's got to be one of those surprise. Here it is. They see it big, and then it's a swing and miss. You work up there too much, they're going to get on it.
Slow roller to third. Manny will just step on the base, and Tillman works out of it. Nicely done. The first 2 reached, and 2 are left. Mid-second at Camden Yards. O's and Rays, no score.
Moments is watching my son make his first major league start here at Camden Yards with my wife and the family and everything. What a terrific moment.
And Steve Johnson, Dave's son, is back with the club. There he is. He was activated today. His contract purchase from AAA Norfolk. Oliver Drake was also recalled. He's back with the O's. And Chaz Rowe, who was the winning pitcher last night for Bowie on his rehab assignment as the Bay Sox clinched a playoff berth, he is now back with the team as well, activated off the DL.
Look at Oliver Drake right there. Incredible numbers both Steve Johnson and Oliver Drake had in AAA. Of course, Johnson recovering from a miserable year in 2014 after shoulder surgery, so nice bounce back year for him. He went on an incredible run there at the beginning of June 1st, 3-0 with a .91 earned run average. So Johnson deserving the call here, and Drake as well.
Matt Wieters gets on with the leadoff single. How do you beat the shift? You hit it over the shift. And that's what Matt did there. Our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, William Craig of Middle River, has won $500 for being selected. And he'll win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play Baseball Bucks scratch-offs today and win up to $50,000 instantly. Learn more at mdlottery.com/baseball. And the Orioles would love to help Mr. Craig earn some money. Birds have hit just one home run over their last 4 games. And this is a team that struggles to score runs without the long ball. Jonathan Scope will take a strike.
Well, Jonathan Scope has been on fire. Last 10 games, .308 batting average, 1 long ball, 6 RBI, and he's been using the whole field. Last night's ball game, a couple base hits the other way, just missing a home run to deep right field.
And a swing and a miss. Well, Jonathan had 35 hits in the month of August. He tied Manny Machado for the team lead. It was the most hits in the month of August, by an Orioles second baseman younger than 24 years old since Billy Ripken did it in 1987.
Wow.
So 35 hits is a good month. He has a home run and 6 RBIs in his past 10 games.
Well, I like that big hole over there. Seen him go the other way many times here lately. He's feeling good about using the whole field. With Wieters' single, gives him another opportunity. A little tougher now with 2 strikes.
And he fights it off. Well, to advance Wieters, he's going to have a base hit because Matt has about a step and a half lead off first base.
Well, Smiley's got a great move. Last year he had 7 pickoffs, the second most in Major League Baseball. So he can get you if you're sleeping. You better be aware.
And it's a double play ball. Cabrera bobbles the flip, but gets it to Forsythe, and Forsythe back to first. Nicely done by the second baseman. So 6-4-3 on the double play, and 2 men down. That erases the leadoff base hit.
Take a look. The underhand flip comes up a little short, but Forsythe, you have to anticipate the bad throw. Even though these guys are major leaguers, and it's very rare that Asdrubal Cabrera is going to give him a feed like that. Maybe 1 in 100 chances, but you have to anticipate it. Be ready for it. Got himself in a good position and completed the double play.
Strike 1 to Caleb Joseph, who is DHing again. Last few games, Buck has been going with as many lefties as he can against right-handed starters, and then the contrast, as many right-handed batters, and he went too far on the check swing, says Corey Blazer. I don't think Buck agrees with that. So with the lefty on the mound tonight, Joseph DHs and Pierce is in left field, and Gerardo Parra is on the bench again.
Well, Buck's trying to find the right formula, that's for sure. He's been mixing it up a little bit here lately.
Off the glove, deflects toward Cabrera, and that's going to cost him. So each pitcher has had a ball deflected off his glove that would have been played, and instead goes for a base hit. So Caleb is on with a 2-out single.
Now the chopper just on the glove side, and Smiley upset that he didn't come down with that. Of course, all the PFB that pitchers do. Like a pretty routine play. Not as easy though as it looks on TV. You're out there only 60 feet away, and these big guys are hitting choppers back at you.
There's Jim Hickey as pitching coach. Does a great job Tampa Bay staff is traditionally near the top of the team pitching leaderboard. This year they're 4th at 3.67. Dario Alvarez now, and he'll take a strike. Dario's got a 2-game hitting streak going, 3 for 6, and he went 3 for 9 in Texas after being called up. Breaking ball in the dirt. Oh, now they're saying foul ball. Chris Guccione jumped out in front and said that ball was tipped, so Caleb's got to go back.
A big breaking ball there from Smiley. Now Dario Alvarez, known for expanding the zone a little bit, and here the big breaking ball dropping down and in, goes out. Must have just got a little bit of piece of that.
He also hit Aaron Sebe on the backswing. Didn't look like he tipped it.
It did not.
Well, that's the pitch he's going to have to get used to, because you certainly don't see those quality breaking balls in the minors. Fastball line foul the other way, and he broke his bat. Alvarez picked up his first hit the other night in Texas. He started all 3 games as the Rangers had 3 consecutive left-handed starters. This is his 10th plate appearance out of 11 facing a left-handed pitcher. Oh, 0-2 with Joseph at first and 2 down, no score here. And he got him on a changeup. And down on strikes goes Alvarez. Inning ends. 2 hits, 1 left. We'll head to the 3rd. O's and Rays scoreless game. That 1995 season, and Cal Ripken Jr. joining us here as the Orioles tonight celebrating 20th anniversary.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
It is amazing. I mean, what is it, 11 years is a generation, so that's almost 2 generations of kids have grown up since that streak.
All it tells me is that I'm getting older. And time keeps ticking, that's all.
Now, Mike and I watched your press conference before the game, and a lot of the questions were about what are your memories of this, memories of that. What was the best moment of that night as you've now been able to reflect?
I think it's hard to say one moment was the best moment. I mean, having a chance to celebrate with all of your family. The one moment in the last week that I've been focusing on was Dad.
Right.
Dad being up in the box. And I had a chance to see some interviews, and it kind of brought him back to life to me. I feel like he's with me anyway, but that memory kept flooding back to me over the last week. So if I had to pick one right now, probably my dad.
Cal, I got a question here now. Obviously, most amazing streak in any sport, but I envision you one day to be back in uniform, or maybe even in the front office. When you're looking at a team, and maybe even some of the teams you've been with, Yeah, recently, do you expect players to be out there every day and try to go out there and come close to your streak anyway, or want to play that way?
I haven't been asked that hypothetical question in that hypothetical sort of way. If I ever was in a position to manage somebody, is that what you're saying? What would my expectations be for the players? Yeah. I would hope that I would be open-minded to each individual circumstance. There are certain guys that you want in the lineup every single day, and they mean a whole lot more. Like in my day, Eddie Murray hitting fourth absolutely had to be there for us to all feel like we were in our roles. So, yeah, I think I would nudge players along. I don't think you played 162, did you? I think BJ did. I think Brady did. But you got close. Yeah, right?
Came close a couple times.
And so getting the players to kind of understand themselves, if you can play 162 and finish strong, then you've answered the question that it's not a physical thing, it's more of a mental thing. But I think I would look at each individual player and kind of judge what you have from him.
Buck Showalter, before the game tonight, as he met with reporters, he was asked several questions about you, knowing that this was the anniversary night. And Buck says that he talked to Richie Bancells, and of course at the Major League Clubhouse, the trainers know everything. And Richie said, as he remembered you were one of the quicker healers that he ever was able to deal with. And I would guess, in large part, that's how you were able to keep it going. Maybe another player had to sit out.
Yeah, I mean, I fouled a million balls off my foot, and you see other players that foul a ball off their foot, and their foot would swell up to a size that they couldn't play. I had my dad's genes, I guess, inside of me. Dad got hit with a line drive in the face in Boston, and they took him to the hospital to check and see if there was any broken bones, and then he came back and coached third in the evening thing, and you really couldn't see how much of a mark it left on his face. So I had those sort of healing genes, which definitely helped in some of the minor injuries.
Well, what about the streak inside the streak, the consecutive innings played? That kind of blows me away more than, I mean, they both blow me away, but my gosh, you went over 900 games playing every inning of every game, and you know there's extra innings in there and blowout games. Yeah,
it was a 5-year period, and the way I look at it is I was Manny Machado's age, and you just wanted to play no matter what. If you were swinging really well, you wanted another at-bat, and if you weren't swinging very well, I need another at-bat to kind of figure out how I can fix it for tomorrow. And physically, you have to ask yourself, how much rest are you actually getting if you come out of a game in the 8th inning or just play through? So I don't know. That just kind of happened as well. My dad ended that streak. My dad was the manager at that point, and we got blown out of a game in Toronto. And he said, I think it's good for you to sit down an inning. And first he asked me, what do you think about sitting down an inning? And I said, what do you think? And he said, I think it'd be a good thing. And I said, okay.
Now tell the story about how, because you were the one, obviously, that would decide when the streak was going to end. And it was the final home game of that season. How did you decide, and how did you tell everybody?
Well, just early in the year, I thought it was about time. And normally the reason you go out and play all the time is to help your team get to the playoffs. And if we fell out of the playoffs, I made up my mind I was going to end it. And really ending it was to kind of make a statement. I could have played all 162 if you end the last game of the season. But we ended on the road. I talked about it a little bit more at home, and the point made, everybody really has been along for the streak. You should do it at home. So I did it the last game, last home game of that year, and we played against the Yankees. And I told the manager 10 minutes before the game started. And so I didn't want all the hoopla. I figured I'd deal with it after the game. And it unfolded in a really natural way. Ryan Miner was the guy that took my place. And he refused to sort of take the field because he thought it was a rookie prank. And finally I said, no, it's going out there. And all the Yankee guys realized that I wasn't out in the field. And they got it first, I think. And then that started, they got up on the top step of the dugout, and then the whole stadium started to understand what was happening. And it turned out to be a celebration. I smiled and laughed and went out to the bullpen. I spent an inning in the training room, figured, maybe I'll lay on the training table. But it was fun.
Well, the line of the night, in fact, was Ryan Miner. When Ray Miller told him he was playing third instead of you, he said, does Cal know? Congratulations on 20 years. Good to see you, Cal.
Thank you.
Cal Ripken Jr. on the 20th anniversary of 21-31. 3-3 inning for Tillman. No scores. The O's come to bat. They scored 87 more runs than their opponents. 191 run differential for the season, second to only the St. Louis Cardinals. Edwin Encarnacion, he's like the Energizer Bunny, keeps on going. 26-game hitting streak, too shy of the Blue Jays record held by outfielder Shawn Green. And Manny Machado of the Orioles, 131 games played. He is the active leader in most games, consecutive game. He would break Cal's record in the year 2031 if he were to keep it going. And here's the active list. Now that puts it in perspective.
It really does. I mean, Manny Machado with 131 games. Cole Calhoun, a couple other players on that list, but boy, not the way it used to be. Cal Ripken setting the bar high. Almost seems untouchable, and I think in most people's minds it is.
Paul Janisch leading off. And a bouncer towards second. There's Forsythe. And he gets it to first, and one down. Before tonight's game, the Orioles celebrated the 20th anniversary of Cal Ripken Jr.'s historic 21-31 game. And you still have time to join in on the Ironman memories by bidding on the official Orioles Maryland license plates, number 2130 and 2131. Now, the proceeds benefit the Orioles Charitable Foundation. The bidding will close on Sunday, so visit Orioles.com/2131 for your bids. Now, the last time we checked, the current bids are $1,760 for 2131 and $612, a bargain, for 2130, which was the night he tied Lou Gehrig. Now, you have to be a Maryland resident, obviously, because you have to register the car. But all the proceeds benefit the Orioles Charitable Foundation, which has raised nearly $110,000 since the debut of the license plate program in 2012. That's
awesome.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it sure is.
So if you want to get that, both bids are still, Mike Bordick might want to make a phone call, make a bid on that.
Okay.
What is your memory, since you were in that game, of when Cal sat down that night?
Oh my gosh! Well, Cal and I played catch before.
As you always did.
Yeah, in front of the dugout, and I'm standing out there waiting for him, and he's sitting in the dugout, and I'm shaking my head. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he kind of gave me the "I'm not playing" sign, and well, it was very emotional. It was emotional for everybody. It was emotional for the Yankees and the opposing dugout. Obviously for the players in the Orioles dugout, but when the fans started hearing it, you could hear the buzz and the talk, and wow, I mean, pretty amazing. Obviously, and I think it just gave everybody a chance. All right, let's reflect on this streak, the amazing streak that Cal Ripken has just accomplished. And it's one thing to think of him as a physical, athletic specimen that set this incredible mark.
Manny bloops it in there, and he's hustling. He's thinking two. Here's the throw. He is safe at second base. And there's his 100th career double.
That's how you do it right there. Turn it on a little bit. Those type of plays can fire a team up. Manny's 27th double, 100th career double. And I think Cal Ripken fired Manny up. Here. Inside fastball. Smiley loves riding the heater to the top of the zone, but Manny somehow getting the bat on it and finds some grass. Is he upset about it? No. He's thinking double the whole way. That's great base running by Manny Machado.
As soon as that ball left the bat, he started sprinting.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is it goes foul. So the O's get a man to second for the first time tonight. And Steve Pearce has an RBI chance with one down. Pearce drew a 4-pitch walk his first at bat and takes ball one here.
To finish up Cal's thing, it isn't the physical part of it's amazing. It's the mental part of that streak, playing the game that long and going through every season, winning seasons, mostly losing seasons, the frustrations that this game brings. And I think every baseball player that looks at that streak just shakes their head more in awe of the mental capacity that Cal had to do that every day.
Yeah, my memory of that night was the fact that we were not given an Orioles lineup. And you know how broadcasters are. We're kind of particular getting our scorecards ready, and it was just very strange. And John Maroon, who was the PR director then and was here tonight with Cal, he just told everybody, just relax, it's coming. Ray's working on some things down there. And what it was John obviously knew. Well, Cal probably tipped him off. lineup's going to come out a little late tonight. And by waiting until 10 minutes before the game, Manny takes off. And the ball gets away from Arancibia. So Manny will steal third and no throw because the ball bounced past the catcher.
And Manny's been doing it all offensively, leading the team in stolen bases, and picks the right pitch. Look in there. Not stealing signs for the hitter, but maybe recognizing a potential breaking ball. Off and running on the curve in the dirt. Arancibia can't come up with it. And check Manny out. Head on a swivel. He's ready to rock and roll tonight. He's off and running.
The ball caromed off the facade behind the plate right back towards Arancibia, but Manny was ready to come home if it went another direction. So the infield drawn in on Pierce. And another bloop. This one heading down the line. Manny's going to tag, and Loney can't get to it. So Manny will have to go back to first, or back to third. And Loney will go back to first. Manny becomes the youngest Oriole in their franchise history to reach 100 doubles.
Well, he's done some pretty amazing things already at such a young age. And you know he's just going to get better with more experience.
He also gets 100 doubles in the second fewest games. Only Nick Markakis picked up 100 doubles in fewer games than Manny. Off the end of the bat, shallow right center field. That ball is trouble, and that ball is caught by Forsythe. And Manny wasn't tagging. Manny thought that ball was going to fall in and didn't tag. And as a result, he's still at third and now with 2 men out. What a play by Forsythe.
It was a beautiful play. And with the outfield so deep, I think that's what Manny had his eyes on. He said, there's no way an outfielder's going to catch this ball. So he took off. And then Forsythe comes up with the amazing play. Steve Pierce, yeah, he wanted that RBI. The Orioles wanted to put that first run on the board. We got another chance here with Adam Jones stepping up.
So a big second out with Manny still at third as Smiley gets Pierce, and here's Adam Jones. Timed the off-speed pitch and fouls it back.
So it can be a very frustrating game, especially when you're a struggling team. Everything that Manny Machado has done in this inning has been perfect. He's done things that other guys don't do. You know, he gets that base hit right out of the box. He's thinking too, gets in there. Great job stealing the base, reading the pitch, and then not tagging kind of wipes that all away. It's unfortunate. And Manny was thinking about the outfield, like we've talked about here, even in the first game. This Tampa outfield plays so deep that there are going to be a lot of balls that drop in front of them. But you forget about the infielders ranging back, and Forsythe making a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch.
Well, but the shame of it is, Mike, is that on plays like that, you are taught to tag because if the ball falls in, you're going to score anyway. Oh, yeah. And that's why it's a little curious that Manny did not go back to the base to tag. He did on the other foul ball that was down the line.
Right. Well, he was back there. I just think he realized that the outfield had no chance, and he made up his mind. He forgot about the infielders because he was back there tagging, and I got to believe his eyes were on you know, the right fielder and center fielder, and he said, well, they're not getting it, I'm going. I can score easily. Out of nowhere, Forsythe flashing the glove.
A 1-2 on Jones, trying to get Machado in. Hard hit ball, look out, Bobby Dickerson. Ricochets back to Longoria. Adam flied out his first at bat. He has 1 home run and 3 RBIs over his past 12 games. And he got him. So Adam strikes out and Manny left stranded at third. We'll head to the 4th. Pitchers in control, no score. Book your low fare now at southwest.com and by your local Mercedes dealership. Cal Ripken Jr., the photos underneath his 2 MVP awards upstairs on the club level. The Orioles have a nice lobby up there in the club level where the Cy Young Awards are on one wall and the MVPs are on the other wall, so as the fans come up they can look at them.
Yeah.
All the retired uniform numbers are in the corridor there as you would go down one level to the other. John Jaso will lead off. And first ball swinging, fouls it off.
I know a lot of Orioles fans obviously have a lot of pride in the Cal Ripken streak, but sometimes it gets overlooked that Cal almost kind of saved baseball, really, single-handedly, because after the '94 they missed the postseason.
Yep.
And then the season didn't start on time in '95. People kind of got into Cal's streak. I mean, he was the one bright spot, it seemed, in the game after all the labor disputes. And Cal's 21-31 came right when baseball needed it the most.
Well, the other part of it too is that he's always been such a classy guy, and there's a strike 3 called on the inside corner. And Jaso's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
On the change up here, Matt Wieters setting up down and away, and he kind of yanks it a little bit, but finds a nice spot in the strike zone. Chris Guccione making the call there, head right on that inside corner.
5 strikeouts already for Chris. Here's Logan Forsythe, who reached on an infield hit, deflected off Tillman's glove his first at bat. So Forsythe already has 4 hits in this series.
He's got a very sound approach. Doesn't do a lot in the box as far as getting his body out of whack. He simplifies things. Does not overstride. Very direct path to the baseball. And surprising pop. 15 long balls this year.
And there's another base hit. Pierce hustling over, trying to keep this to a single. Forsythe is thinking to. Here's the throw. It's too late. So Forsythe with a 1-out double, and he's in scoring position for Tampa Bay. Well, it's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Just use the hashtag #OsCouchCam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. This is the second time in the game that Tampa Bay has had a runner to second. Forsythe picking up his 25th double of the year. He is 2 for 2. As Drupal Cabrera up, he has struggled in these situations, batting just .200 on the year with runners in scoring position. This ball slicing down the line. Trouble if it's fair. It is foul, and just foul.
Man, Cabrera didn't even get out of the box on that. That was pretty close, being a fair ball down that left field line.
You were talking earlier about Tillman, if he could get rid of those 4 starts against Toronto. His ERA without those 4 starts would be 3.28. Because his ERA against Toronto is 15. Outside 1-1. Yeah, the way the schedule is, the Orioles saw the division teams a lot early, and they're going to see them a lot late.
Yeah, he better solve that Blue Jays puzzle here.
Yeah, he'll see them this weekend when the Orioles travel to Toronto Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Here's the 1-1. It's outside. Fastball misses, ball 2. This is his 19th career start against Tampa Bay. Logan Forsythe at second after a one-out double. Each team now has 3 hits. And Tillman misses again, so 3-1.
Just spinning off that fastball away here last couple pitches. And he keeps that body under control. Much more accurate. See the last 3 pitches almost in the identical spot. Matt Wieters wanting the fastball away. That front shoulder flies.
And he loses him, so he got ahead 0-1, then 4 in a row out of the strike zone. That is the first walk allowed by Tillman. Next Friday, September the 11th, the Royals are back at Oriole Park. They'll begin a 3-game ALCS rematch, and on that night, first 25,000 fans 15 and over will receive an Orioles hooded sweatshirt. Don't miss this warm addition to your Birdland wardrobe. Tickets are going fast for that series, so get online, Orioles.com, or 888-848-BIRD. That is a good-looking sweatshirt. Forsythe at second, Cabrera at first, with 1 down, and here is Loney. Loney lined out his first at-bat to left fielder Steve Pearce. And a foul back.
This would be a great opportunity for Tillman to go to that 2-seam fastball. That little bit of movement in the zone, bottom of the zone, obviously preferably try to induce the ground ball and get out of this inning.
Loney has grounded into only 4 double plays on the year. Through the middle, that's going to be a base hit. It hit the bag and it slows it down. Here's Adam Jones up with the ball and no play at the plate because of the ball hitting the bag. So Tampa Bay strikes first, as they did last night. A double walk and now a single, and it's 1-0 Rays. So they got the ground ball, but it found the hole.
Forsythe been the Oriole killer. They're both defensively and with the bat. Loney taking one right back through the middle. And a piece of second base and slowing the ball down enough. See Adam Jones wisely deciding to eat that baseball. Keep that double play in order.
He may have had a play if it didn't hit the base. Cabrera stops at second with Loney on at first.
You know, Adam closes on a baseball as well as anybody. A good first step, and yeah, if he senses that he can get a runner, he's going to be in there and making that play. Pretty good awareness and wise decision eating that one.
He has 12 assists on the year, and the Orioles outfielders have 40, which is the most in all of Major League Baseball. Brandon Guyer struck out his first at bat. And the runners were moving on the first pitch, but not on the second pitch. Third base coach Charlie Montoyo flashing signs. And Tillman looks Cabrera back.
Got to do a little something there. Base runners obviously showing a little antsy out there, so someone's got to get in their head. Yeah, I'll turn around. I'll pick off. I've got an inside move that I'll show you. Slow you down a little bit.
Bounce towards the hole. Diving stop by Giannis to second. Too late, but he saves a run. So again, back-to-back hitters. Tillman gets the ground ball he's looking for, but they find holes. But Giannis with a great play to keep it in the infield.
Well, that's what you have to do in these type of situations. Runner at second base, infield, first thing in their head. Got to get dirty. Keep the ball in the infield, whatever it takes. Giannis, full stretch. Nice recovery. Good shot at second base there. Going after it with a bare hand. A little flip. Jonathan Scope stretching out. Keeping that ball in the infield as well. A beautiful play there by Giannis. He's been playing tremendous defense. He had a solid, well, very great year actually in AAA. Only 4 errors for the Norfolk Tides.
Here is Aaron Sebia, who grounded out his first at bat. 1 run in, bases loaded, and 1 down. Mentioned the Rays are trying to get back to 500. They're 65 and 66. Tampa Bay is 5th in the wild card race. They are even with the Angels, 3.5 games back of the final playoff spot, which right now is held by Texas. Texas has a 1-game lead on Minnesota, 3.5 on the Angels and Rays, 4 on the Indians, and 5.5 on the Orioles. But the Orioles are 5 games below 500, and they have all those teams ahead of them. 1-1 on Aaron Sebia. There's a bloop, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Here's Cabrera to score. Loney right behind him, and Jones will get it into second base. It is a 3-run inning for the Rays, and they have a 3-0 lead.
Well, not knocking the cover off the ball, but finding some outfield grass once again. A little jam shot. Chris Tillman riding the fastball in on Aaron Sebia. A little two-seam running in off the plate, but he gets enough of the wood to get it up over Janish's head. Nice little read there at second base. Only able to score. The Rays now with the 3 runs here in the 4th.
Dave Wallace out for a chat with Chris Tillman. 5 consecutive hitters have reached after the strikeout of Jaso to begin the inning. Forsythe double, Cabrera walk, Loney RBI single, Geyer infield single, Aaron Sebia 2-run single. Here's Grady Sizemore now for his 3rd at bat. He has struck out and lined out to first on a great grab by Chris Davis. There's a double play ball. Scope to Janish, back to first, and safe is the call, and another run scores as Sizemore hustled down the line.
It looked like a routine double play ball. Ended up getting turned a little bit slower. And a high throw from Janish makes for the long transfer. Sizemore still showing the good speed. Beat it out. Rays another run across the plate.
So not turning 2 cost the Orioles another run. 4-0 Tampa Bay. And Sizemore got down the line. Here's Daniel Nava, the 8th batter to come up for Tampa Bay here in the 4th. Down and in, 1-0.
Well, Tillman, he's on his game. He has that ability to minimize the damage. And here, this inning kind of getting out of control.
Ball dropped by Wieters, but no advancement by Sizemore. Well, with the Orioles, Mike, struggling to score runs, this 4 spot is big.
Well, it sure is. And you wonder, how much of an impact did Manny not tagging there have on the team's confidence? Both coaches pretty demonstrative about their
diving feelings. Stop by Scope. He throws and he got him. Takes a base hit away from Nava, and that's how the inning ends. But a costly inning for the O's as the Rays score 4. Nice play getting Nava at first. Our Mazda do-ups, Chris Davis, Matt Wieters, and Jonathan Scope. Piece is part of the Orioles Reach Game Day Experience program. The participants got game tickets, concession vouchers, a T-shirt and cap, as well as transportation to and from the game. And a silent auction was held to raise money for Kids Piece. And on October 31st, the O's Orioles Reach, manager Buck Showalter and his wife Angela will host the 6th annual Kid Piece Trick or Trot. It's a 5K 1-mile walk here at Oriole Park. It benefits children in foster care. Now, founded in 1882, Kids Piece is dedicated to serving the needs of kids in foster care to give hope, help, and healing to children, families, and communities. So congratulations to all. And there's the place where you can register for Buck and Angela's run and walk, kidspiece5k.org.
What a great program there. You want to have a good feeling, do something for the kids.
Chris Davis leads off. He'll take a strike. Chris struck out his first at bat. In his last 10 games coming into tonight, Davis was 4 for 37 and had struck out 20 times. He tends to go into those streaks, if you will, where the strikeouts will come in bunches.
Oh, yeah.
Fouls that one off. Let's get a look at our Jeep inside the numbers, and home runs come in bunches as well. Highest percentage of home runs by infielders this season. And, of course, with Chris Davis playing first base predominantly, that's why that number's so high.
Yeah, Twins on top there. Dozier having another big year. Sano, Plouffe on that list. But, of course, the Orioles with Machado, his 26th. Chris Davis, another monster home run year. That's what you look for. And especially you're talking about putting runs across the plate. That's what the Orioles built themselves to be, a home run hitting team. And yeah, your infielders better hit the long ball too.
And he got him. So Davis down on strikes. Second time he's struck out tonight. And that's number 4 for Drew Smiley.
Once again, that high fastball, his go-to pitch. Tough to get to at the top of the zone. A lot of it's because of his deception, with that over-the-top delivery, but everything kind of disappears as he leans back. And here it comes right over the top, and much like Tillman, just extra life at the top of the zone.
Wieters will take a strike. Matt Single, the left field, his first at bat that snapped an 0 for 10 drought for Wieters. Real good changeup.
Well, he's got a good feel for all of his offerings. He'll slow you down and speed you up with the fastball at the top of the zone. Seen him mixing that changeup rarely, but the curve and the slider, big time pitches for Smiley.
Blazer said he checked, so the count to 1-2. Well, Smiley is a strikeout pitcher. He's averaging a strikeout per inning on the year. He was on the disabled list from May the 9th through August the 16th with that torn left labrum in his left shoulder, his pitching shoulder. And he got him. Back-to-back Ks, 2 men down.
He's burying the breaking balls. The ability to throw it in there for strikes and then come up with the put-away pitch. Finish down in the zone. Nice late bite on the end of the breaking ball. Wieters is swinging over the top.
Smiley trying to even his record at 2-2. Since coming off the DL in his 3 starts prior to tonight, 1-1, but an ERA of 5.14. He is pitching much better tonight. Scope towards the gap in left center field. That's down for a base hit. Jonathan is thinking 2, and he will make it. So that ball got all the way out to the wall, and Scope with a 2-out double.
Jonathan Scope put his numbers up in a 600 at bat season. He has been raking, staying through that slider up in the zone, driving it out to deep left center. easily picking up his 12th double.
So another runner in scoring position. Can the O's come through? So far 0 for 2 on the night in these chances. Here's Caleb Joseph, who singled off the glove of Smiley his first at bat. Ball outside. Now Caleb has a pretty good swing the other way, and the way they're defending him, a ground ball could get a run in. There are 3 infielders on the left side and only Loney on that right side.
You have to believe his sights are geared up for right field.
Umpire stepped on the ball momentarily.
And Caleb, I think his consistency and all of his numbers offensively being up this year, a large part the fact that he's been staying up the middle and driving the ball the other way as well. Leading with the hands, letting that bat head come through, but still keeping it up above the hands, so maintaining the good bat control.
Well, Caleb does have 46 RBIs on the year. Chance for another one here for the Orioles to get on the board, trailing 4-0. Drops the off-speed pitch foul.
Get into a good hitter's count, 2-0, and drops the off-speed pitch in there. It's Caleb out in front a little bit.
Drew Smiley in his 4th year. He has 20 big league wins. He's 20-15. And another foul ball. Count evens 2-2. The series in homestand concludes tomorrow. Just a 3-game homestand for the Orioles, and tomorrow's starter is in doubt. Buck Showalter said before the game today that it could be Kevin Gausman, who is scheduled, but he may hold Kevin back to start Friday in Toronto. And he would not reveal who would start in his place if he elects to do that. And he gets Joseph on a real good changeup. Aaron Sebia plays at the first, and that ends the inning. So 3 Ks in the inning, and the Orioles strand Scope at second base. Through 4, it is 4-0 Tampa Bay.
Steve Pearce with the blooper, but man, he doesn't tag. Another opportunity lost by the Orioles. Pearce and Wayne Kirby not liking that non-tag. And then Loney will get the Rays on the board first in the 4th inning, and they explode. Aaron Sebia picks up 2 more as the Rays tacked on 4 runs against Tillman. Remember, Geico 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Here's Evan Longoria. He was the only Ray not to bat in the 4-run fourth inning. Tillman threw 24 pitches in that inning. Longoria 0 for 2 on the night. Lines it foul the other way. Now, talking about the Orioles in the rotation, Mike Wright, who was on the Major League Disabled list, he pitched tonight for AAA Norfolk in a rehab start, and he pitched really well. 6 innings, no runs on 2 hits. He walked a batter and struck out 3, and needed just 65 pitches to get through the 6 innings. There's Scope back in the bag. Longoria's out and 1 away. Speaking of minor leagues, how about our PNC minor league report, and congratulations to Ron Johnson.
Yeah, Ron Johnson named the International League Manager of the Year. He's taken the Tides to a 75-61 record, and he is the winningest manager in Tides history, passing Gary Allenson. Picked up 285 wins for the Tides. And the Tides playing great. They're leading that Southern Division by 3 games. Last time the Tides won was back, it was in 2005. So Ron Johnson doing a nice job. It's always hard in AAA, especially when players are coming up and down as often as they do.
Yeah, and the Orioles took 2 of his relievers today.
Right.
Steve Johnson came up and Oliver Drake came up. But that creates an opportunity for somebody else. Jaso fouls it off to stay alive. Jaso has not joined in the fun for the Rays. He is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. And the 0-2 is a ground ball, base hit down the line against the shift. Pierce hustles the ball back in, and safe at second base with a slide is Jaso. Real close play.
Nice play right there by Steve Pierce. Infield kind of shifted around a little bit. Jaso staying on top of the fastball, up and away, and beating on it down the left field line. But Pierce coming out of nowhere. A strong throw to second base, making it real close. Jaso getting the anxiety level up there. Let's see it's Pierce coming up with the baseball. Good tag right down on the leg, but Jaso in there just in time.
Well, that's how it's going for the O's. Ground ball down the third base line from a left-handed batter, and because of the shift, there was nobody there. Tillman in another jam. The 4-run rally in the 4th inning got started by a 1-out double. And here's the man that did it, Forsythe, and he scored the first run. Forsythe has 2 hits in this game. He singled off Tillman's glove in the 2nd, and then doubled and scored in the 4th. One and one on Forsythe. Tillman has struck out 5. He has walked 1. The 1 walk has scored. He's hit a batter. And he's allowed 7 base hits already as he works here in the 5th.
They've been finding some holes. Been some broken bat base hits out there. Finding some grass in the outfield.
Forsythe fouls it back. And the count to 1-2. Tillman threw 24 pitches in the 4th inning. He was very pitch efficient over the first 3. He had a total of just 49 through the first 3, but then 24 last inning. Steve Johnson getting loose in the bullpen.
Oh, he's got to feel good out there. His last appearance was back in September of 2013 in Major Leagues.
His shoulder's finally healthy. He is a strike thrower. Well, Tillman battling Forsythe here. Orioles are having a heck of a time against Forsythe in this series. Last night he was 3 for 4, and tonight he's 2 for 2. So 5 hits and 6 at-bats for Forsythe in this series. And then again he fouls it off. And there's a baseball out of the bullpen. And I hope that wasn't one that Steve threw. Maybe it ricocheted off Rudy Arias' shin guards. Down holding 1-2 on Forsythe. And a base hit up the middle. He gets another hit. Here's Adam up, and they're going to hold Jaso. Throw comes all the way through, and he would have been out if he went. That was a good hold by Charlie Montoyo.
Oh, bullet right back up the middle, staying on the breaking ball. Man, Forsythe seeing it like a beach ball right now. Trying to do too much. Right over Tillman's shoulder, and then Adam Jones, of course, getting to that baseball in a hurry, holding Jaso at third base.
So 3 hits last night, 3 hits tonight, 6 for 7 in the series for Forsythe. And here's Asdrubal Cabrera, who has been hit by a pitch and he's walked. Cabrera in his first year with the Rays. 29 years old, out of Venezuela. He signed originally with the Seattle Mariners, and the Mariners traded him to Cleveland when he was in AAA for Eduardo Perez, who retired at the end of that year. And Cabrera went on to have a number of fine years for the Indians as their everyday shortstop. Then last year at the trade deadline, he was traded to the Nationals, and then in the offseason with the Tampa Bay as a free agent. It's a high fly ball down the line. Over is Alvarez in the corner, and it ricochets off the grandstand.
A tricky little corner down there in right field. Alvarez hoping it gets over that edge and an opportunity for an out, but of course it scored a run. The Orioles and Tillman need a ground ball double play to get out of this inning. Got to stop Tampa Bay from putting any more runs across the plate.
Well, he was ahead of Forsythe 1-2 and Forsythe single. Now he's 0-2 on Cabrera. Tampa Bay is a pretty patient hitting team. They really seem to work the count well.
Well, they've kind of struggled offensively all year long. Not a lot of thump in there, and seems like they were being pitched to pretty well. Here, seems like they're on everything.
You know, the way they have swung the bats and worked the counts in this series, you wouldn't think that these numbers are right, but they are. They are last in the league in scoring runs. They are 12th in batting at .247 and 10th in home runs. So 1-2 on Cabrera, who's prolonging the at-bat with foul balls. Center field, not that deep. Runner will tag Jaso. Adam is ready. Here comes Jaso. Here comes the throw. It is up the line, and a sac fly and an RBI. And taking second base is Forsythe.
Adam Jones, all or nothing there. Just airing it out. Trying to gun Jaso down, but elevated the throw a little bit. Forsythe with a good read. Well, gets himself in a scoring position. Cabrera, the nice at bat, doing what he's supposed to do. And Adam Jones just letting it fly a little bit up the line there. And Forsythe on in second base.
Well, first base is open. They'll put Loney on and go after Geyer. So it is now 5-0 Tampa Bay. Brandon Geyer's on deck. He'll bat next. Will it be against Tillman or Johnson? And here's ball 4. So Loney will trot down to first. And here comes Buck. And that's going to do it for Tillman. who goes just 4 2/3 innings, just as Wei-Yin Chen last night went just 4 2/3 innings. So the Orioles aren't scoring runs, and their pitchers have been scuffling. So Tillman leaves. Steve Johnson comes on for a season debut when we get back.
Comparison tonight, the fastball at 61% of the time, the breaking ball there at 20%. A few more changeups in this ball game, but the Rays were still able to get to them. 5 earned runs in just 4 2/3 innings of work. And now it's time for a little relief for your car too. Visit Jiffy Lube for regular oil changes and help prevent damage and wear to your engine. Jiffy Lube, drive in today. Now take a look at Steve Johnson's numbers this year in Norfolk, the AAA affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. 4 wins, 2.30 earned run average, 67 punch-outs, and only 16 walks for Johnson. He is all about control and command, the invisible fastball, and locates it very well.
And there's his dad, Dave Johnson, watching from the O's Extra set.
He's been anticipating this day for a while as well. Very excited, obviously, seeing Steve Johnson make it to the big leagues a couple years ago. But
crush to left field. Back on it is Pierce. It's over his head for a base hit. Here's Loney, a run to score. And Loney ends up at third as Forsythe comes in. It is 6-0 Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay bats heating up. Take a look at Geyer's swing. Fastball elevated middle of the plate. And he leans on this one, driving it over Pierce's head, picking up another RBI.
So Geyer has 2 hits, and they've each come in the last 2 innings in these rallies. Here's Aaron Sebia. Upstairs 1-0. Aaron Sebia drove in 2 runs with a single in the 4th. One and one on the swing and the miss.
Steve, some impressive numbers down there in AAA after battling back from I think he had a bone spur shaved off the back of his right shoulder. So 2014 was pretty much just a recovery year for Johnson, and then this year good to get his health back and back to form.
Tough night for Tillman. Came apart fast. 4 on 4th. 2 more here in the 5th. And 2 men in scoring position with 2 down. 3-1 on Aaron Sebia. Steve Johnson won 4 games. He was 4-0 in 2012 when he came to the big leagues. That year he was up and down 4 different times. Waves at a pitch that would have been ball 4. And last year he was in 9 games, 1 start, with 1-1. Or 2013. Last year he was battling the shoulder issue. Well, full count with 2 down. And the foul ball keeps that bat alive. But Forsythe got a base hit on a 1-2 pitch, and as Drupal Cabrera was 0-2, and he got a sac fly. And Tillman was that close to putting the hitters away and ending the inning, and he couldn't do it. 7th pitch is swung on and popped up. Manny is over, but he's going to run out of room. Sebia will see another pitch.
After Johnson kind of battling through here, Aaron Sebia working the count to 3-2. Matt Wieters giving a little breather, maybe getting ahead of Aaron Sebia a little bit. All fastballs to this point. Of course, there's an open base over there. With the Orioles down by 6, I say stay aggressive. Look for the big pitch.
Grounded sharply past Machado into left field. There's another base hit for Aaron Sebia, and 2 more runs are going to score. Aaron Sebia, the number 9 hitter, has 4 RBIs, and it's 8-0 Tampa Bay.
They are putting some good swings on the baseball right now. A couple of the bloops earlier in the ball game have led to some confidence. And they're getting the head out. Aaron Sebia, very dangerous hitter. Certainly can be pitched to, though. There's some holes there, but squares that one up after working the count 3-2 and picking up a couple RBIs on the end.
Well, 5 of the 8 RBIs have come from 7, 8, and 9. Loney has 1, and Aaron Sebia has 4. Back-to-back 8-batter innings. Here's Sizemore, and he'll take a strike. Aaron Sebia, who was just recently called up, this is just his 6th game. He had 1 RBI in his prior 5 games, and that came on a sac fly. He's got 4 RBIs here tonight.
Well, I'm sure he's playing with a little bit of an edge. You know, when a team picks you up in spring training and then they let you go, they tend to a little bit of an attitude about that.
2-1. And that one gets right through Matt Wieters, and Aaron Sebia will go to second.
Change up from Johnson, just kind of skipping underneath the glove of Matt Wieters. Might have caught the plate. So it gets a little quicker. Yeah, caught the edge of home plate, stayed down, just skipped right through.
Well, it's ruled a wild pitch because of the bounce. High fly ball to right. Alvarez is back on it. Darriel's got to play. And the inning finally ends. So 8 men to the plate, 4 more score. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 8-0 Rays. 20th anniversary. There's Cal Ripken Jr., who visited with us earlier, and he is upstairs in the suites. And the fans not giving him a standing ovation. Of course, the game would be official after 5 innings if the Orioles were trailing, which they are, 4.5 if they had the lead. So here halfway through the game, the Orioles remembering that night 20 years ago and recognizing Cal Ripken Jr.
Yeah, pretty special night. Richie Bancels, Orioles head trainer, seen a lot of history here with the Orioles, but certainly a huge part of Cal Ripken's streak. I remember being in Fenway Park. I was with the Oakland A's then. We were playing the Red Sox, and they actually stopped the game up there and put Cal's victory lap on the big screen at Fenway. So everybody in baseball took a moment and paused to celebrate that incredible accomplishment.
Dario Alvarez leads off, and he'll take ball 1. Defensive change. Tim Beckham comes in the game for Forsythe. He's at second base, and the Orioles are now not going to have to battle with Forsythe the rest of the game. He had 3 hits last night. He's got 3 hits tonight.
Yeah, that last inning when he was on second base, he had a visit with the manager, Kevin Cash, and the trainer. And after he scored the run, he decided to pull him out of this ball game.
Smiley has struck out 6. He has walked 1. The 1 walk didn't hurt. And the Orioles have just 4 base hits in this game. Popped up wide of first. And Loney will put it away for the first out as Alvarez is retired. And 1 away. For every Orioles walk, CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield will contribute $50 to support the March of Dimes. The O's have drawn 316 walks for a total of $15,800. CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and a more active lifestyle. Giannis, first pitch swinging, pops it up. Loney this time in fair territory makes the catch. And 2 quick outs. On Saturday, September 12th, the Orioles take on the Royals here. It's a special 105 afternoon matinee. First 20,000 fans 15 and over will receive a Birdland knit scarf. Tickets for that Saturday game are going fast, so get online, Orioles.com, or call 888-848-BIRD. So gearing up for your winter wardrobe.
Now, the last thing on my mind today when we were out on Utah Street was a scarf.
It was a tad warm out there for the event. The fan challenged Adam Jones to a cook-off. As Manny takes a strike. We'll show you some of that footage a little bit later on. Mike Bordick was one of the judges. He had 4 helpings of the food.
Yeah, I'm still full. That's some good stuff out there. Wayne Kirby ribs, are you kidding me?
Ball 2-1 on Manny, who has doubled and flied out. O's have lost 5 in a row and 11 of their last 12 games, and now trail here 8-0 in the 5th.
Well, you can kind of tell the frustration on this team's face right now. It has been a rough couple of weeks here. A lot of things kind of showing up, and it seems like every game you can kind of point to 1 or 2 things that kind of pull this team back from kind of taking off and losing a little bit of their momentum.
Ground ball is short off the changeup. Cabrera gets it to first, and Smiley has a very quick 3-up, 3-down inning. We're through 5. Tampa Bay in front. out on Utah Street. There's Boog. And it was the Care First Fan Challenge as the fan who won, Thomas Turnbull, and his son Thomas challenged Wayne Kirby and Adam Jones to the cook-off. Now, Wayne made his famous ribs. There they are. Boog doing the cutting there. And then there was pulled pork and cupcake chicken is what they called it. There's Mike Bordick, Rock Kabako, and Boog served as the judges. A good time had by all, and Mike Bordick and Rock Kabako voted for Adam, and Boog split his vote. He voted for both. He enjoyed it that much.
Well, yeah, it was all great.
Mike Bordick said afterwards he was afraid not to vote for Adam with Adam in his presence, and Rock Kabako said he voted for Adam because he needs quotes.
And it really wouldn't have mattered to Adam Jones. It's all about eating anyway with him.
Adam is, it's real nice of him to do that. And he was out there at 2 o'clock today for that, and it was about 96 degrees out there by Boog's on Utah Street. Wayne Kirby did most of the cooking. Adam was socializing. Utah Street is open at that time of day, and a lot of fans were walking by just to see the ballpark, and they stumbled on Adam. So a lot of fans congregated there and watched the challenge. And there's a strike, 3-1 on Daniel Nava, who was the only batter not to bat in the fifth. Steve Johnson on for his second inning. He got the final out after allowing 2 hits last inning. And there's a leadoff walk. Well, be sure to text Masson's word of the day, which is festival, to 29292 for your chance to win an autographed prize pack from Masson. All brought to you by the Shindig Festival with Godsmack, Stone Temple Pilots, and more. That comes up September 19th here in Baltimore. Just go to Ticketmaster.com for more details. There's Evan Longoria, who is 0 for 3. Tampa Bay has an 8-0 lead, and their best hitter is hitless. TJ McFarland now getting loose. Orioles now have a 10-man bullpen with the 3 additions today.
Well, Steve Johnson obviously hoping his outing would be a little bit better. Right now having some command problems. Stay aggressive in the zone. That's when Johnson's at his best, because he has one of those invisible fastballs. Looks good coming in, and so many hitters just swing through it. And he's usually has pinpoint command with that heater, and then his secondary pitches play up off the heater. And right now having a hard time commanding anything in the zone.
Just outside. So 3-1 after a leadoff walk. Longoria has flied out, struck out, and grounded out. And a swing and a miss, 3-2.
Came back this far, might as well finish it up. Either that or use a ground ball. A couple outs here.
And just off the plate, ball 4. So back-to-back walks to begin the 6th inning. And here comes Buck Showalter with the left-handed bat of Jaso coming up. We will get McFarland. So Johnson leaves, McFarland comes on. Tampa Bay with an 8-0 lead, 2 on and none out in the 6th.
waiting here. And the Rays offense continuing to put the pressure on. Well, Marlins got a good two-seam fastball, uses 73% of the time, so there is a ground ball. Hopefully in the Orioles' near future. 3.91 earned run average, 18 punch-outs, 14 walks in 25 1/3 innings for TJ. Marlins sitting 315. The lefties just down to 226. And there it is. Ground ball percentage at 62% for McFarland. And this is when he needs it. 11 of 11 inherited runners stranded. That is as good as it gets.
So 2 on with none out. And we're going to get a pinch hitter. Richie Schaefer, who was one of the call-ups today, will pinch hit for Jaso and inherit the DH spot. TJ's been pitching pretty well as of late. First ball swinging a Schaefer, and he skies it to center field. Runners will tag to draw a throw as Adam makes the catch, and no advancement. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 6th inning. Well, pedestrians, don't walk away from a crash. Drivers need to pay attention. Slow down, watch for pedestrians, even where you least expect it. Be street smart. Here's Tim Beckham getting his first at bat. He took over defensively for Forsythe. Beckham started in the game last night. And he'll take a strike.
So I guess here as we head into September, obviously a very down time right now for the Orioles. Falling behind 8-0 here. This 3-game series against the Rays. This Orioles team has to be aware that they're always on call. I mean, every night you're auditioning. And Buck Showalter, believe it or not, I know his focus is on this game. There are thoughts about next season. Who is going to be around to help this team next year? I'm not saying Buck is selling this season out right now and saying it's over. But these are the tough times that your character kind of gets revealed. How are you going to play these games? Are you going to stop? Or are you going to continue to go out there and play the game hard and play the game you're supposed to play? And Buck's keeping his eyes open. Everybody's going to be kind of tested, I think, this month and looked at. Some of the younger players that are going to be given possible opportunities, you know, here down the stretch. And Buck wants to see how they respond, I guess, in this adversity. You know, there are some proven players here, but everybody has to continue to prove themselves.
Missing inside. Well, the O's have 68 losses. Last year they lost 66 for the year when they won the division. And they are on the verge here of losing their 6th in a row and 12th in their last 13 games. The Minnesota series, the 4-game sweep, changed the season. 3 of those games were winnable games. Orioles couldn't get the big hit. That's where the team hitting slump started. That carried over onto the road trip into Kansas City. And then it carried over into Texas. And now the starting pitching is starting to scuffle. Maybe feeling the pressure of no support.
I think everything's kind of tied in together right now. And, you know, when teams get on the skids like this, it's unfortunate, but I think it's just human nature of what can possibly happen next. And I think early on in this ball game, much like in yesterday's game when Manny Machado got that home run taken away by Kiermaier in the first play of the game, everybody's just kind of going, geez, not again. Here we go. And you know, early in this ball game when Manny didn't tag up.
Alvarez in right. They won't challenge his arm. So 2 men down. And the O's upcoming schedule brought to you by Mile One Automotive, offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit us in store or online at mile1.com. Well, the finale against Tampa Bay tomorrow, then the team has a day off on Thursday, but will travel to Toronto. Night game on Friday, then day games on Saturday and Sunday against the Blue Jays. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera, who will bat right-handed for the first time tonight. Does not have an official at bat yet. He has been hit by a pitch, he has walked and scored, and he has driven in a run with a sac fly. Nava at second, Longoria at first. And a ball hit past the mound. Schoop will have to hurry. Runner got in his way, and he still makes the play at first base. Nicely done by Jonathan Schoop, and a real good job by T.J. McFarland as he strands the two runners he inherited. So Schoop avoids Longoria and gets the out at first. Our Honda duo-ups for the O's: Pierce, Jones, and Davis. The Maryland Fire Chiefs and Maryland State Firemen's Associations. Email mdfirevolunteer@gmail.com to volunteer with your local fire rescue and EMS. Well, we have a visitor on the field, Mike. There is an injured bat on the field between second base and third base. The umpires notice it. Remember, the ground crew is going to remove it and gently pick them up. Looks like the bat is injured.
Probably ate too many bugs. Not too full. Couldn't fly away. Landed on the infield. Fortunately, the grounds crew coming to his rescue.
Now, how does Nicole pick that guy to go get the bat?
He may be the designated.
I have an assignment for you. By the way, Logan Forsythe, who left the game, he has left groin tightness. And it is day to day.
Well, shouldn't have gotten 7 hits in 2 games.
He's wearing it out.
Jeez.
So Steve Pearce will lead off. Smiley is pitching a gem. He has 6 strikeouts. He's walked 1. No runs on just 4 hits. As the Orioles bats remain ice cold. Pearce has walked and he has popped up to second base.
And Smiley's been pretty efficient. Mixing his off-speed pitches very well. Just enough, and seen some chases on the fastball. Well, good sign for the Rays after so much time on the disabled list in this season.
This is Smiley's 50th career start. and his 121st career appearance. Another foul back.
Smiley kind of lulls the hitters to sleep with the early breaking balls and then tries to attack that spot up and in with the fastball. A lot of guys a little in between. Can't sell out on the heater completely because he's had great command of his curveball and slider tonight. So you got to be expecting everything, especially with 2 strikes.
And the 1-2 to Pierce, swung out and missed. Another outstanding breaking ball, off-speed pitch that breaks under the swing.
Yeah, he's had pinpoint command with this curveball. It just never gets there. 77 miles an hour. Now it looks good about right here, but that's a pretty good finish. So he's spinning it well, and that's what pitchers hope for. Make sure the pitch looks good. The hitter says, "Oh yeah, I got this one." And the late bite in the bottom of the zone to get Pierce.
Adam Jones will bat. Well, you see the quality that Smiley has on the mound. He was drafted in 2010, did not play that year, so began his pro career in 2011, and then in 2012 he was in the big leagues to stay. As a rookie with the Tigers in 2012, he made 18 starts and 5 relief appearances. Then in 2013, their pitching staff was so strong, he spent the entire year in the bullpen and got the 63 games and went 6-0 out of the Tigers bullpen. Last year he was in the rotation mostly before the trade to Tampa Bay when David Price went to the Tigers. One on one on Jones. Orioles are really struggling with this off-speed stuff.
It's all about making adjustments.
And Adam goes down on strikes.
And even if you're not in the box, you really pay attention to how he's pitching. He's been doing it the whole ball game. Slow you down with the breaking ball, and then expose you at the top of the zone with the fastball. 91 miles an hour. Enough to get it by you at the top of the zone.
Scott Kubal, hitting coach, talking with Steve Pierce. Chris Davis takes a strike.
And you saw Pierce there saying slow it down. He's got to slow it down. Just a little too aggressive up there and get extra movement. Try to do too much. Take yourself out of your game plan and you will be exposed to breaking balls. Smiley's throwing in there.
So the instruction goes on during games as well. Davis to right center field. Over his Nava, he's got a play, and he's got the ball for the out. And the inning ends. Second straight 3-up, 3-down inning. 7 in a row retired by Smiley as we head to the 7th. 20th anniversary celebration of Cal Ripken breaking Lou Gehrig's record of 21-31. There are the numbers up on the warehouse. Cal threw out the ceremonial first pitch to his former teammate Brady Anderson. And Brady, I don't know if you noticed, but I did. Brady kept the baseball.
He did?
He did. Usually when someone throws out the first pitch, there's Brady with Cal. You hand the baseball back to the honoree.
Right.
Brady put it in his glove and walked into the dugout. So he has the memento from this special night as the Orioles honor Cal. But they are the closest of friends. We're teammates for a long time. McFarland stays on. Here's James Loney. Loney has had a good night. RBI single. He was walked intentionally. He has scored 2 runs. Good breaking ball. 0-2.
TJ, beautiful job getting out of that last inning. Nice to have him settle in and finish out this ball game. He can eat up some innings for Buck Showalter. There are some extra arms now in the Orioles bullpen, but you'd like to be fully loaded.
Little bloop to Manny as he was trying to protect the outside corner, so 1 away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
That is a happy baby there.
Well, McFarland will go to work on Brandon Guyer, who's also had a good night. And it's getting even better. There's his 3rd hit. Adam Jones will play it back in. So 1-out single. Tampa Bay has gone in order only once in this game. On Sunday, September 13th, a game against the Royals here at Oriole Park. It's been moved from its original start time at 1:35 to the new 8:05 start time to accommodate a national ESPN broadcast. So come on out and join the Birds under the lights on the national stage for this ALCS rematch. Get your tickets now, Orioles.com, or call 888-848-BIRD. There's a bouncer foul off the bat of Aaron Sebia.
And TJ gets nice action on his 2-seam fastball and actually throws the changeup off the fastball with that same 2-seam grip. So very similar looks. And TJ can get a lot of ground ball outs. Get some swing and misses when he backs it up with the change.
Drills this one to deep center field. It's over Adams' head and it's gone. It carries out of here onto the sod farm, and Aaron Sebia has a 6 RBI game. The number 9 batter with 6 ribbies. And it's now 10-0 in favor of Tampa Bay.
Wow. Big night.
And here's our Alexis of Townsend drive of the game.
There it is. We were talking about the changeup. But Aaron Sebia gets extension on this pitch. Stays back and squares it up. Straightaway center field.
Drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Townsend, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 5 years running. See why at LexusofTownsend.com. So Aaron Sebia, a 6 RBI night. As Mike mentioned, he was in spring training with the Orioles last year in the Texas organization. Well, they always said about Aaron Sebia as a catcher, he's a good hitter, and he's showing it tonight.
Right. Yeah, and then offensively he started to have some problems, some inconsistencies, but always a threat with the power. A couple good years.
Second time in his career he's had a 6 RBI game. As a member of the Blue Jays in May of 2012, he did it against the Mets. His career high in a game is 7 RBIs. He did that as a Ranger last year against the Yankees. You know it is not your night when the number 9 batter has 6 RBIs.
It wasn't too long ago he was batting cleanup for the Blue Jays, though.
Sizemore late on the swing. Count full 3-2. Rays now have 12 base hits with their 10 runs. Sizemore's 0 for 4, but he has an RBI and a ground out. This is weakly hit. Over quickly is Giannis, and he'll get it to first in time. Nicely done. And 2 away here in the 7th inning. As promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to the hashtag OzCouchCam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Oliver Drake just called up today. He's back with the team and now getting loose.
That little kid there on the T-Mobile looked like Zach Britton.
Yeah.
Hiding that baseball behind the head. Little short arm delivery there.
Daniel Nava bats right-handed for the first time.
And Zach Britton, Orioles closer.
Michael Givens always gets a good seat on the bench out there. He was by O'Day last night. Now tonight he's by Zach. Hang out with the stars.
You got that right. Trying to learn as much as you can.
0-2 on Nava, who has a single in 3 trips plus a walk. The O's have been held to 4 base hits. And 1-2 as it's down low. Seven in a row retired by Drew Smyly. And 11 of the last 12 have been retired. Well, McFarland had a run of 3 consecutive scoreless appearances, but he allows the 2 runs here on the home run. And he gets him. Swinging strikeout ends the inning. But 2 more for the Rays on the home run by Aaron Sebia. 7th inning stretch. Tampa Bay in charge. University of Maryland University College. Well, on this date, September the 1st, back in 1964, Giant southpaw Masanori Murakami became the first player from Japan to play in the major leagues. He said, "I wasn't exactly nervous after all. I don't understand English and everything was so new. I thought about only pitching. Besides, I felt like I had nothing to lose." Now, he was the first Japanese pitcher, and now there are more than 60 in the game, and including some big stars like Ichiro Suzuki, Yu Darvish, Koji Uehara. Nori Aoki's having a good run, and of course, more recently, Masahiro Tanaka. So that was some accomplishment for Murakami. Back in 1964, first player from Japan to play in the major leagues.
Yeah, pretty amazing. How tough would that have been? The first guy.
And there is a Matuk in left field now, so he is in for Sizemore. Matt Wieters leads off, Scope and Joseph to follow. And a strike on the corner, 1-2. So not only is the off-speed stuff exceptional tonight, he's spotting his fastball on the corners. And a swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 9. Wieters has gone down twice.
A couple go to put away pitches. Obviously, we've seen the breaking ball down, but he'll just elevate the fastball a little bit. Staying away from Wieters there. Wieters just underneath the high heater.
Jonathan Scope takes upstairs. Jonathan is 1 out of 2. He had a double back in the 4th inning, and that's the Orioles' last base runner. This is beginning to resemble the Derek Holland game on Sunday, where the Rangers got him a lead. There's Kirby Yates. He was just called back up today. And then the starter went to work and shut it down.
Got it all working. He hasn't thrown many changeups, but there another quality pitch. Chris Tillman, a tough start here.
And he gets Scope. 10 strikeouts. 39th time this year now the Orioles have had 10 strikeouts in a game.
Another good breaking ball. It's the late finish. I mean, how many times are we going to see this one bounced in the dirt? And Orioles swinging over the top of it.
And there's a strike with the fastball. Adam Jones and Manny looking on. You know, it's not quite 2 weeks into this slump that has changed the course of the season. Thursday will be 2 weeks on the off day, and the Orioles have won just 1 game.
Yeah, it has been tough.
Yeah, they came off the 4-game sweep of Oakland, then battled the Mets. They saw DeGrom and Syndergaard in back-to-back games, managed a 2-game split with the Mets. And when Minnesota came in, the Twins were struggling. They had just been swept in New York by the Yankees. So the thought was, we're getting this team at the right time. Instead, they were about to turn it around, and they stuck it to the Orioles. 3 of those 4 games were winnable. There was the one blowout game on Thursday night. But the Orioles just couldn't get the hits. Fly ball to left, long run for Matuk. And he's got it. So another 3-up, 3-down inning. That's 10 in a row retired by Smiley. We head to the 8th, 10-0 Rays. O's and the Rays will wrap up this 3-game series. O's are undecided on their starter. Erasmo Ramirez goes for the Rays. Our coverage on MASN begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by Southwest, and then game coverage at 7 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN. All Tampa Bay tonight, 10 runs on 12 hits. The O's no runs on 4 hits, and Smiley has retired 10 consecutive batters. And here is Oliver Drake to come on and pitch in the 8th.
Yeah, Oliver Drake had some opportunities. 5 games with the Orioles, a 3.52 earned run average, 7 punch outs, 6 walks. Opponents just hit 192 off him. The lefty's only 143. He's got nasty split finger, and that really showed up in AAA this year. Incredible numbers. 42 games, a .82 earned run average, 23 saves in 23 opportunities. He only gave up 4 runs in 44 innings of work.
Longoria fouls off the first pitch. Dario Alvarez moves to center field. Adam Jones is out of the game. Jimmy Paredes now in the game in right field. So Paredes goes into Adam's spot in the batting order.
Yeah, really what sets Oliver Drake apart, split finger command.
Line drive to left, and that's in for a base hit. So Longoria gets his first hit as Oliver Drake is greeted by the veteran. Your favorite Orioles are back with their favorite dogs and cats. It is the 2016 Orioles Pet Calendar. Proceeds from this brand new 16-month calendar benefit Barks, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. Calendars are available now here at Oriole Park, at the Orioles official team store in York, Pennsylvania, or you can order a copy. Just go online, Orioles.com/pet calendar. Here is Schaefer. He's getting his second at bat. He took over for Jaso as the DH, swung at the first pitch he saw and flied out. Oh, 0-2.
So he has that split finger that he can throw for strikes. And a lot of times he'll start hitters out with that splitter, and then he has a harder one that he throws in the bottom of the zone. Looks like it's going to be a strike coming in, and then bottoms out.
Second time Schaefer's been with the big club this year.
They're throwing the last 2. Going a little harder there, but that's the pitch he's supposed to be bouncing. And left both of those up in the zone.
Buck was saying before the game when talking about the call-ups that for Drake to succeed at this level, and he dominated AAA this year. I mean, you could say this about anybody, but he said it's fastball command, because if he throws strikes with the fastball, all those splitters come into play.
Oh, yeah.
The varieties that he throws. This ball's crushed to right field. Paredes is on the run, and he reaches up and misplays it. It bounces against the wall. Longoria heads to third, and in at second with a double is Schaefer. That ball should have been caught, but Paredes misjudged it.
A little uncomfortable out there. He's 10 feet on the grass, and he's feeling back for the wall. So I don't really know where he was, and uncomfortable going back on that baseball, and it drops in. It gives the Rays another opportunity here with runners on second and third.
Longoria gets to third. He thought it was going to be caught, and Schaefer gets a gift double. He's at second. Here's Tim Beckham for his second at bat. Ball 1 as he misses low. Oliver Drake attended the Naval Academy. Decided to leave the Naval Academy because he felt he had a chance to play pro ball.
Oliver Drake, kind of a unique delivery, big guy, but gets down kind of the squat position and then just drops back. So he's going backwards as his front leg is going downhill, and then he somehow has to get that arm back up on top. Very similar to the Rays Smiley.
Popped up back this way. Tim Beckham, former #1 overall pick. Out of high school in Georgia. That was back in 2008. There's a strike on the corner.
Buck's talking about that fastball command. I mean, every pitcher that pitches at the major league level better have that fastball command, the ability to move it around, go where you want to. Makes every off-speed pitch play up.
When Drake was at the Naval Academy, he was majoring in quantitative economics.
I didn't major in that.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's when you... No, I really don't know.
You know, as a math major, you were a pretty good shortstop.
Right.
There's a squibber. Runners will hold. Drake will play it to first, and he gets an out.
And that is the money split finger right there. That might get Drake back in to his groove. Perfectly executed splitty down in the bottom of the zone. Work for that weak contact.
Now, Drake is from Massachusetts. He was born in Worcester and lives in Gardner. And when he was in high school, he played 4 years of varsity hockey on his high school team, and he also played baseball. So he was a two-sport man, and there's a lot of youngsters in New England. They love the hockey.
Yeah.
Now, one down here is Cabrera. Back over to the left side. It's a big guy.
Yeah, he is. Can you imagine him on skates? Oh, my gosh.
There's a spotted fastball right on the corner. 6'4". Goes 215. And Wieters went out. Maybe one of them was crossed up. Runner at second base. They changed the signs, and Drake just back today. Wayne Kirby is shifting the outfielders. Alvarez is now in center field, not Adam Jones. So Wayne is moving Alvarez where they believe that Cabrera might hit the ball.
And these young infielders and outfielders that come up to the Orioles, you know, it's been in their ear to constantly look in. And the Orioles defense is moving within at bats, different counts.
Foul back, 0-2. Well, with Alvarez now on the team, it's a challenge for Wayne because Dario does not speak English very well at all, and he has a hard time understanding it as well. So it'll be a little extra focus for Wayne as he works with Dario Alvarez. There's a ground ball and a diving stop at first by Davis. A run will score, but he saved another. So Chris Davis, his second fine play tonight.
I'll tell you what, those plays become really impressive when you're down by 11 runs and still giving it all you got. Nice diving effort by Davis. Beautiful play. 1-2. 2 steps and a dive. Saving extra bases down the line.
And here is Luke Maile, who is making his big league debut, pinch hitting here for James Loney. He was one of the call-ups today. And a swing and a miss. Hit only 207 at AAA Durham this year, but 5 home runs. He was rated the best defensive catcher in the Rays system at the end of last year by Baseball America. So Luke Maile making his big league debut.
Got to Find good young catchers to handle these good young pitchers, right?
Schaefer's at third and 2 down. This ball's lifted to left. Pierce is there. And he puts it away for the final out. Tampa Bay gets another run. They led to the bottom of the 8th. 11-0 Tampa Bay.
DL, but he was spot on tonight. 7 strong innings, no earned runs, everything working for him. The fastball 67% of the time. Breaking ball was there, and the change as well. 100 pitches thrown. A very strong outing. Now Kirby Yates in, recently called up. The Rays bullpen. The fastball 51% of the time. Works in the low 90s with the heater. Breaking ball has a slider and a curve, and the straight change to go along with it. 11 games this season, 9.82 earned run average, 12 punch outs, 2 walks, 17 hits in 11 innings. Opponents hitting .340 overall. Lefties way up to .391. Fly ball pitcher, 74% of his outs in the air, and given up 7 home runs in limited innings.
Rene Rivera, who caught last night, is now in the game at first base. And Luke Maile, who just pinch hit for Loney, is in the game behind the plate. And welcome to the big leagues from Chris Guccione. That was nice.
It was nice. Nice to have a good umpire. I remember when I was a young player, one of my first big league games, I'm at second base, and I think it was Al Clark came up to me and said, "You're getting a bad reputation in this league already." And I went, "Wait a second, I haven't even done anything. I just got here, man." So umpires didn't like me right from the get-go.
Really?
Yeah, so I blame a lot of my lack of offensive production on umpires. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I thought that was a nice gesture by Chris Guccione.
It really was, yeah.
The fact that, when Ryan Wagner introduced Maile to pinch hit, he always does this. If it's someone's debut, he lets the crowd know so they can share in the moment. So Guccione heard that, and then when he came out to catch, hey, welcome, kid. Once upon a time, Guccione was a rookie and made his big league debut. Well, good cut by Alvarez, but he fouls it back. The Orioles 0 for 2. He has struck out and popped foul.
Well, had the good numbers in AAA with the 16 home runs. So Michael Givens out in the Orioles bullpen.
Darren O'Day's helping out Dom Chidi. And he gets him. So Alvarez strikes out for a second time tonight. The Orioles have now struck out 11 times in this game.
Fastball, Yates' best pitch, and here using it well at the top of the zone. It's getting under that pitch, acting like a rising fastball on top of the zone to get Alvarez.
Here's Paul Janisch, who was 0 for 2. Drew Smyly was so effective tonight. He retired the last 10 batters in a row and 14 of the last 15. The Orioles haven't had a base runner in this game since Scope doubled with 2 down in the 4th inning. Ryan Flaherty's on deck to pinch hit for Machado. And Sky to shallow right. Daniel Nava's there. And Yates gets 2 quick outs. You can follow the Orioles wherever you are with MLB.com At Bat. It is the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment. With in-game highlights, you get live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or your tablet. Here's Ryan Flaherty to pinch hit for Manny. Ryan started the game last night at third base. And this Buck got as many available left-handed bats as he could in there against Archer. Here's Manny, who went 1 out of 3 tonight with a double and a stolen base. As always, with his good pal Jonathan Scope.
There you go. 2 great young players. The Orioles excited about them establishing themselves as the foundation in the future of this franchise.
Did not go on the appeal. In the game Sunday that Derek Holland pitched the shutout, he retired the last 13 batters in a row. The Orioles in that game Sunday in Texas, their last base runner was in the 5th inning. 14 in a row to end that game retired by Holland. Similar here tonight. It's 12 in a row retired by the combination of Smyly and Yates. And Mike, you know, you played this game a long time. It's just, to me, mind-boggling that an entire team not only would stop hitting at the same time, but for it to last this long. These are proven professional hitters.
Oh, I agree. I agree totally. I mean, see this team in this prolonged offensive slide. Very surprising to me. I think on the year on a whole, they've been pretty sound offensively, but some.
So strike 3 called as Yates has a 3-up, 3-down inning. We will head to the 9th. Tampa Bay in front. To you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by PNC for the achiever in you. Tampa Bay with an 11-0 lead, 14 hits to just 4 for the O's. Ryan Flaherty, who pinch hit for Manny Machado, stays in the game at third. Steve Clevenger is now in the game behind the plate. He takes over for Matt Wieters. And here is Michael Givens now to pitch in the ninth.
Take a look at his pitch arsenal. From the side, the three-quarter sidearm slot, 64% fastballs, mid-90s with the heater, the sweeping slider 29% of the time, and a real good change. 117 earned run average, has picked up a win. 15 1/3 innings of work, 18 punch-outs, only 2 walks, holding opponents to just a 164 batting average.
He misses inside to Brandon Guyer leading off here in the ninth. Guyer's had a big night. He has 3 hits and he has scored 3 runs. He has been right in the thick of all 3 rallies for Tampa Bay in this game. Line to center field. Alvarez over. He'll have to play it on a couple of hops. So Brandon Guyer is a 4-hit game.
I'm feeling it right now. Confidence rules in this game. When you feel good, it really does not matter who's pitching.
Career high matching 4 hits for Guyer. This ball skied the right. Paredes will be tested again. Circling under it. This time he has it for the out. And he hasn't played a lot in the outfield. And even though I'm sure they've had him taking reps during BP, balls off the bat, but it is different during the game.
Oh, it is not easy at all. I mean, people think, especially corner outfield spots are a little bit easier. Corner infield spots, well, the angles are tough. Balls off the bat go different directions. Righty's going to slice away from Paredes if it's on the glove side. I mean, there's a lot to pay attention to. And the fact that major league hitters hit it a little firmer. The ball tends to carry a little bit farther than expected. Brady's got burnt in the last inning.
Well, there are the nuances as well, Mike, and you could see it on that ball that he misplayed into a double last inning. Wasn't even back on the warning track yet, and he was reaching for the wall.
Right.
And the outfielders use the change in the surface to alert them that they're getting to the wall, thus the word warning track. But Jimmy hasn't had a lot of time out there, so he just doesn't have the experience or the reps. And Matuk strikes out. So 2 men down. Here's the play in the 8th inning, which helped lead to a run. He's not even on the warning track yet. He's reaching for the wall, and he was several feet from the wall.
Yeah, he was really tentative on that fly ball right there.
There's Daniel Nava. He has 1 hit and 4 trips plus a walk. Guyer on at first now with 2 men down. Michael Givens getting some valuable experience, the rookie. Former shortstop.
Now building on the success he had in Double-A this year. A 173 earned run average, 15 saves in 35 games for Double-A Bowie. Under the tutelage of Alan Mills. He kind of had the same type of personality. I mean, you talk to him in the clubhouse or out on the field before a game. The nicest guys you'll ever want to meet. Do anything for you. When they step on the mound, they turn into different animals. Nothing but competition. Blowing steam out of their nose and spitting, doing whatever it takes to get an advantage and get the hitter out.
Well, Givens gives a lot of credit to Alan Mills for his development. Givens says that as a young reliever, especially him because he's a converted infielder, having somebody who succeeded in the big leagues means a lot. And Millsy was a real good relief pitcher for the Orioles. And Michael said Allen has a real nice laid-back style where he gets his point across in a nice friendly way. So you remember it. You know your former teammate, he was a gamer.
Absolutely. Yeah, a great guy to talk to, but then come game time, boy, it's all about the competition.
Don't get him angry.
Win whatever way you can.
And a swing and a miss. So a nice inning for Michael Gibbons, a base hit, a man left. Here we go, bottom of the ninth coming up. Tampa Bay with an 11-run lead. The 20th anniversary of game number 2131 for Cal. Those had hoped it would be a nice celebration with a win. But Tampa Bay, as Tom and Rick just pointed out, they've had it both ways. They've had the outstanding pitching, Smiley, 7 shutout innings. And then the bats have certainly come on, 11 runs in this game. 13 base hits for Tampa Bay. 13 consecutive Orioles have been retired. Steve Pearce will lead it off. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Paredes on deck for his first at bat, and then Chris Davis. Kirby Yates stays on. Now, Kirby Yates is from Hawaii, Mike. Do you think he's a popular teammate to go visit in the offseason? When it's cold in most of the United States?
I was thinking maybe we should interview him this winter.
Let's go see what his off-season routine is like.
Yeah.
He gets to, maybe he surfs. Orioles are about to slip 6 games below 500. You know, and the other thing this slump has done is they've lost 5 in a row and 11 of 12 and are 3 outs away from a loss here. They are now only 2 games out of last place. We've been focusing so much on the wild card race and what the Orioles need to do to get back in that and possibly become a playoff team. But they're actually closer to last place than they are to the wild card. And there's another strikeout. That's 3 for Yates, 13 in the game.
Another high fastball here. Exploding up and out of the zone at 93.
There's Jimmy Paredes for his first at bat. He has not been getting regular playing time. He is 4 for his last 34, covering 12 games. And because of the lack of playing time, because of the slump, his homerless streak continues. As he takes outside, he's now gone 110 consecutive at-bats without a home run. He last homered July the 1st. So exactly 2 months ago today.
Yeah, Paredes got off to an incredible start for the Orioles. Didn't look like he could ever get him out.
And there's a base hit off the glove of Longoria and in the left field. So that snaps the streak of 14 in a row retired by the Rays pitching.
Almost had this one taken away. A fastball in an inner third. Paredes pulling the hands inside. Longoria had a pretty good jump on that ball. Actually tipped off the end of his glove.
Shift is on. Bunt is there if he wants it.
Yeah, too much of a deficit. Maybe thinking about a bunt here.
That ball's deep. Back it goes on the warning track and gone for Chris Davis. So Chris hits it out. The Orioles finally score against Tampa Bay. For Davis, number 36, he now has 94 RBIs, and that breaks up the shutout bid. And another $500 for our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, William Craig.
Well, you keep playing. Davis, incredible defensive play that last inning, diving down the line. Takes that play right till the end. His last at bat, a 2-run shot.
Here's Steve Clevenger for his first at bat. And then he'll foul it off.
Take a look at this swing from Chris Davis. Fastball up in the zone, catches it out front. Man, that looks so smooth and effortless when he gets it, and a classic finish for his 36th homer.
So Davis breaks up the shutout bid. It's 11-2. Clevenger, his first at bat of the night, he just took over for Wieters. He's got a 6-game hitting streak on the line. Changeup misses outside.
Well, Clevenger, a big hit in last night's ball game.
96 miles an hour to get out of here. Clevenger fouls it back. Count evens 2-2. Stevie, the new dad. He and his wife welcomed their first child, a daughter, the other day while the O's were in Kansas City. And in the center field, that will chase Geyer back. That ball has some carry, but that's the deepest part of the ballpark. And Geyer has it for the out and 2 down here in the Oriole ninth.
Clevenger's been putting some good swings on the baseball since his recall. Squared another one up.
Well, if this score holds, the Orioles will drop to 9-53 in games in which they have scored 3 runs or less, and 4-39 in games scoring 2 runs or less. And Scope takes a strike. Jonathan is 1 out of 3. Ripped a double to the gap in the 4th inning when it was only a 4-0 game, but he was left stranded. And it's a Tapper foul. 0-2 the count. Orioles went 11-18 in August, about to start September off with a loss. And a tough stretch for Buck and the Birds. And Scope prolongs the at-bat with a foul.
Well, I think this team just needs to loosen up a little bit. You know, keep playing and having fun. And that's when they're at their best.
And Scope strikes out, and that's how it ends. So the Orioles get 2 in the 9th on the Chris Davis home run, but the Rays win back-to-back games. They are assured of the series win. O's have now lost 6 in a row and 12 of their last 13 games. Well, we hope you can join us tomorrow. The O's and A's will wrap up the series. Erasmo Ramirez goes for the Rays. O's starter undecided. Our coverage on MASN begins at 6:30 with O's Extra presented by Southwest, and then game coverage at 7 o'clock. And now for Mike Bordick and our entire hardworking crew, Jim Hunter saying so long from Camden Yards, where the Rays beat the Orioles by a final of 11-2. Tonight's telecast has been a MASN presentation. O's Extra presented by PNC. Tom and Rick coming up right now.